Greetings. Just some quick notes here. Notes and quotes. 1911, The Principles of Scientific Management, Frederick Taylor. Thurston Veblen, Conspicuous Consumption. Veblen, John D. Rockefeller. Creation of the Technical Alliance. 1933, Rename it Technocracy, Inc. Technocrats view the centralized control of resources as essential to their goals. The human animal is behavioral automation. Men being created equal has no basis in fact, according to the technocrats. Energy use, human needs, etc., all controlled and monitored. In a technocracy, all human behavior is watched and rationed. Energy certificates. Technocracy places all resources under the command and control of a select few, a zenith of oligarchy. The radical tyranny intrinsic to technocracy is beyond anything imagined by the fascist and totalitarian communist of the past. 1965, Technocracy Inc. published a written exchange between its founder, Howard Scott, and J.K. Faulkner, The History and Purpose of Technocracy. Technocracy has no ancestors in the social history of man. It creates its own. Technocracy elevates technological development above morality. Taylor. The system must be first. June 18th, Trump admin labels Tucker Carlson as a terrorist. Let's be clear. Thana Kasparian. TP USA. They actually played an AI-generated video of a big event. At a big event. It was AI clearly saying, Charlie, saying that he thought that Erica would do a great job. And it was just AI-generated video. They played it as if it was real. And as a reason why Erica's legit. Oh, let's see. October 29, 2025, University of Mississippi, Turning Point, U.S. Women's Leadership Summit. Doesn't matter. Manufacturer posthumous endorsements. All right. Tulsi. Let's see. Catherine Austin Fitts. Elites need to impose CBDC and control your money. Flock camera at 12th and Lakeshore. None on Madison. One at my freeway entrance. One at the Fremont McDonald's. Emily Austin, Zionist influencer. Or anyway, Unlimited Hangout with Whitney Webb. She starts talking about John Poindexter as godfather of modern surveillance. His plans for total information awareness and predictive analytics. John Poindexter. Well, guess what? Good old Peter Thiel thought that was cool. Alex Karp. They reach out to Poindexter and they say, hey, you can't do it through the public. It got shut down. Too much resistance. Even after 911, the freak out staged event of 911, even after that, people didn't go for this total information awareness. And so they say, hey, let's privatize TIA. And they did. And they move it all into the private sector. CIA, In-Q-Tel, Alan Wade, big advocate of TIA. The CIA was always the intended client. All right, on to something else. Friedrich Nietzsche, 1844 to 1900. Okay. The surest way to corrupt a youth is to instruct him to hold in higher esteem those who think alike than those who think differently. Very nice. Albert Camus. Quote from The Plague. And he knew also what the old man was thinking as his tears flowed, and he, Rue, thought it too, that a loveless world is a dead world, and always there comes an hour when one is weary of prisons, of one's work, and of devotion to duty, and all one craves is for a loved face, the warmth and wonder of a loving heart. Albert Camus, The Plague. Public relations. Some of it is geared towards shifting blame and making it sound like it's giving advice. Recycling. Hey, everybody, recycle. Did you recycle? If you all recycle, we don't have to confront the corporations. Isn't that nice? Recycle. I think that's what I was getting at. Some of it is geared towards shifting blame. Yeah. Now, AI ecocide will be blamed on your clicks. Oh, you click too much. Clicking around on the internet, so you have to have a lot of data centers. Sorry. It's all you plebes. Your YouTube habits. All right. Naomi Klein. We are in a moment right now where the shocks don't stop. The chaos feels permanent. The antidote to shock is actually calm. Calm can come from recognizing the pattern beneath chaos. Calm can come from recognizing the pattern beneath chaos. Very nice. Love that. All right, Samantha Anthony Weiner laptop back in the news, seized by NYPD, file inside insurance, inside the Anthony Weiner laptop. Every cop that got to see inside that file insurance was suicided. All the NYPD cops that saw the file insurance on the Anthony laptop Weiner were killed. Handlers. What is a handler? Handlers. Every puppet in power right now has a handler. They have the dirtiest footage and know the worst dirt on the person they're sent out to handle. And so they keep them in line, pro-Israel and pro-AI and technocracy. Technocracy Israel. Handlers. Anthony Weiner, blah, blah, blah. Biden laptop, Einstein files. Epstein's victims' testimony. All paint a dark picture of our elite class. Islamic invasion. What about the H-1B visas? Is it more like a Hindu-Sikh invasion? Please don't be prejudiced against anybody. But we have to look at these policies. You know what I mean? Policies. How is it going? And some say, no, it's a big fuck you to all the unemployed or chronically underemployed here in the United States, especially people of color who've been kind of keep breaking in. But now instead of letting the locals, they don't want locals with local memory, local power. They want newcomers. You know, the newcomers don't ask too many questions. Just kind of go along to get along. But some people are saying, no, it's not. It's actually an Indian invasion. H-1B visa Indian invasion is what's happening, not Islamic invasion, Somali invasion. It's just an invasion. It's just a bad immigration policy. People just flood in a bunch of them. And that's destabilizing, right? It's not policy. We like good policy. And people, having some idea that they just don't hate it here. They don't want to kill us or hate us. And that's why they want to stay here. It's pretty easy stuff. Erdogan, July. Erdogan. Israel is basing its existence on continued conflict, says Erdogan. It is setting a region on fire. Israel isn't leaving Lebanon or Syria alone. Israel's current leadership is tied to continual conflict. Oh, these are my notes. Existential existence dependent on continual conflict. 9 Turkish activists killed on a ship bringing relief to Gaza, May 31, 2010, Gaza, flotilla raid, Mavi Mara, Free Gaza Movement, 6-ship humanitarian convoy, international waters, 9 Turks were killed, a 10th died from injuries. Global Samud Flotilla, May 2026, activists detained and held at Ashdod. Rape and torture reported, people strapped up on the ceiling in shoulder-breaking pain compliance positions, and then an IDF soldier kicked a woman with a soccer kick in the face. Really injured her. Some are asking, hey, can't Iran, Turkey, Syria, Russia, North Korea, and China, unite and take on the U.S. and England and Israel? World War III, there it is. But England and Israel and the United States, now the CIA and the Mossad and the MI6 are so belligerent and brutal and involved in so much torture and rape and horrible murder of children and so forth that they're the enemy of peace in the world right now. They need to be brought down. Let's see, Iranian royalists are now as bad as the Zionists and the Wahhabists. They justify the bombing of the girls' school and champion the bombing of Iran. They call peace activists terrorists. 168 children were killed in a triple strike bomb. Yeah, so these Iranian royalists, they like the Shah, Reza Shah, who, tortured and killed a bunch of people when his dad. Data centers, that's right. In Choctaw, I'm thinking about the Naniwea, the Choctaw Pearl River area is really precious. And unfortunately, data centers are all around it now. Compass Data Center, massive 500-mile wide facility planned just southeast of the Pearl River. AWS, Amazon Web Services, Jackson area. Facilities in Canton and Ridgeland. Taurus Data Center hub is planned, Rankin County. Seattle Times, July 9, Big Tech is now targeting Native American land for massive data centers, by David Chen. A Caddo elder near Seminole, Oklahoma said, I can live without a cell phone, but not without water. He said that at a turkey dance. The National Congress of American Indians wants to capitalize on Trump's push for data centers. But Sheben Cornell, Tribal Council Seminole Nation, warned against the false fruits of wealth, quote unquote. The wealth is true wealth. Oh, yeah, here we go. This is his quotes. True wealth is the well-being of our families. True wealth is well-being of our families. Yes. True wealth is being able to live on this earth mother without fear and without having to look over one's shoulder, says Mr. Cornell, Tribal Council, Seminole Nation. Some of the chants you might have heard. You can't drink data. You can't drink data. You can't drink data. Is that a chant? The biggest lie is AI. The biggest lie is AI. Honor the Earth is a group, kicks off a Stop Data Colonialism campaign. Oklahoma, 38 federal tribes, is now ground zero for the data center battle. Cornell noticed the Seminole Tribal Council had approved of an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, with a data center. So then they now just passed a data center moratorium. Just no, you're gonna start lying about it, then get out. Muskogees reject rezoning for a data center. Stop Data Colonialism Manifesto. Shalaki Chief Hoskin. Osio Ganali. Hoskin, one Cherokee, Rep. Amanda Clinton calls the push for data centers a new land rush. And so now they're using these Calusa Indians from up in NorCal to talk the Cato into accepting a new power plant for big data. Stuff like that's going on. Lots of secrecy in the process. Some agreements with data centers require local leaders to remain silent. The big data gag. Officials avoid public meetings. Vote to approve without even talking to the public. Yep, that's the data thing. But I just thought that was interesting on the native lands, how they're going to hey, we're going to be too regulated in regular places, so let's just go push it on some natives. And they're getting some resistance. They're getting some go along to get along, but they are getting some resistance too, and I think that's awesome. Abdul El Sayed, the Kamala Harris campaign, was nauseating. I don't know why I wrote that. Conservatives all over X today. No, with new memes mocking Candace Owens. Uh-oh. That's sad. The TPUSA people are like, the Erica as an angel operation isn't going so well, so let's pivot. Flood the zone with hate for Candace. Candace is a demon. Flood the zone with that. RT is now banned in many places. NYT, July 10. Fed agents who killed man during traffic stop were looking for someone else. Oops. Opus Day. Surveillance Valley. Nightmare Code. Leonard Leo, Sam Altman. Post AI layoffs. Control people through dependency. Promise abundancy. Promise future of abundance. Instead, they use you to train the AI that will replace you. They see people. Most people are permanent useless people. They're currently asking themselves. These tech elites now are currently debating all this kind of stuff. What to do with all these people once they get laid off? What should we just kill a bunch of them? That a lot of them are really into that. That sounds really good. Just kill murder. That sounds awesome. Let's see. I know, says Curtis Yarvin. Let's just kind of imprison them within like a virtual prison. Let's just kind of virtualize all the extra humans we don't need, this kind of massive blob of human flesh we don't like anymore. We hate them. But instead, we can kind of we don't want to let them just roam around the earth and do what they want to do, be free beings who might retake over or do something and, assert some autonomy or sovereignty or something somewhere. No, let's not risk any of that. Let's go ahead and turn them all into idiots and kind of enslave them in a virtual reality, kind of a neurocaster setup, kind of a virtualization, a permanent, Curtis Yarvin talks kind of a permanent virtual underclass. And then people talking about this say the resistance is data refusal, opt out. Right now when you're online, you're getting subjected to a lot of digital gaslighting. That's really happening. All right, very interesting stuff here. So, yeah, I don't know where I was going with all this, but this is interesting. These are some of my notes. Science Applications International Corporation, NSA West, and Google here in Oakland bid to get part of a Domain Awareness Center strategic partnership manager for Google. Is on the phone with Oakland. ARPANET. Pentagon's Advanced Research Project, now called DARPA. Role of Vietnam. Yeah, they were really trying to track all their enemies and predict behaviors. This predictive computer. Leverage computer information technology, one of them said, creating a sort of early warning radar for human societies, a network computer system that watched for social and political threats. The internet was hardwired to be surveillance from the start. It always had a dual use nature rooted in intelligence and war. At MIT, Harvard in 1969, some of the people working on the ARPANET projects rebelled and had an attempt to shut down research at some of these ARPANET projects. They saw this computer network as the start of a hybrid private-public system of surveillance and control. Computerized people manipulation, they called it. Computerized people manipulation, 1969. 1969, the same year that Marshall McLuhan was interviewed by Playboy and wrote a lot about the shift from a print-based culture to an internet-based culture, and mentioned this word, the zoosphere, the noosphere, and how we would all become part of this collective conscious created in the kind of ether of computer networking. Said a bunch of other interesting stuff in that interview and with Playboy, 1969. But anyway, that same year, 1969, just interesting that these MIT Harvard students had an attempt to shut down some of the research there, and they called it computerized people manipulation. So that we could learn something from that today, what could be interesting. Well, all right, those are just some of my notes. Rando notes. Rando. Good times.